Satnam. Welcome. Good morning. Minor accident here today. Nothing to worry. Good thing I don't faint at the sight of blood. I could tend to my own wounds. I could tend to the wounds of others. And so we're on day 24. Wow. And yes, I'm curious how your practice is going and what's coming up for you. I'm enjoying this quite a lot. And when I say enjoying it, it's, I don't take this lightly at all. My personal struggle right now is to honor the feelings and emotions in my body and to allow my body to express. And so it has been a joyous ride because I am able to feel things that I haven't felt before. I'm able to look at things that I formerly ignored. And so this is what I mean by I'm enjoying this ride, because I'm enjoying witnessing a change within me. I'm enjoying noticing that I am developing a greater sensitivity in terms of remembering my own past wounds and situations that left me with somewhat of a scar, and I am tending to those wounds. I'm tending to looking at that and those periods in my life and holding myself with love and compassion and understanding, and allowing my body to go through these emotions that before I chose not to show. And when you try to be a poker face, acting like nothing. Let me see my settings here. Okay. Not metabolized, and they keep coming up, and keep coming up in different forms. I will tune in, and then I wanted to read a passage for you from the book I mentioned yesterday. This is an amazing book. I know you're seeing it backwards, and I don't know how to change the mirror flip on my phone. So the book is titled See No Stranger, and Memoir and Manifesto of Revolutionary Love by Valerie Carr. So let us tune in. Hopefully I'll stop bleeding here in a moment. And then we'll begin. Let's inhale deeply and exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Make yourself tall, lifting yourself up. Exhaling, maintaining that lift by relaxing the shoulder blades, relaxing your body, coming into the space of surrender, receptivity, your space. Inhale deeply again, lifting the gaze up to the brow point, setting the intention for today's practice, whatever that might be, or aligning yourself to that what you desire. Exhale, and let's inhale deeply to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Sadguru Name, Sri Gurudeve Name, Adguru Name, Jugadguru Name, Sadguru Name, Sri Gurudeve Name, Adguru Name, Jugadguru Name, Sadguru Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Deep inhale. Suspending the breath, gazing to the brow point, holding the root lock tightly. And exhale and release. Okay, so the passage that I will read to you, because it's relevant to what we're doing and what I'm trying to convey. But sometimes what I was sharing with my husband is sometimes we feel things, but we have no words to eloquently express it. And when you come across literature that feels like your own voice, it becomes very powerful. And I'm moved to share that. So why do we do this practice? Expressing the anger, expressing the emotion, energy in motion through your body, releasing it. And I'm just going to selectively read some of the passages here from this book. We now have the data to prove that community healers know well. Repressing anger comes at a cost to our health. It results in high rate of autoimmune disease. It amplifies our perception of physical pain. Then she goes on to say that opposite of repression is also dangerous. But what I wanted to say is the solution is not to suppress our rage or let it explode, but to process our rage in safe containers, emotional spaces safe enough to express our body's impulses without shame and without harming ourselves or others. What does it mean, container? The yoga mat, a yoga practice that we call practice. This is where we practice cultivating those skills and cultivating, allowing ourselves to express our emotions so we don't necessarily act out or throw a tantrum out in the world. So this is why it's called the practice. This is why yoga is the union with you and your body and your mind and your spirit and your soul and your heart. Yoga is not about stretching your limbs and move. Yes, it is, if you could bring and come into that state of union with your soul. So one of the things she goes on to say here is safe containers take many forms: shaking, weeping, venting, writing, art, music, dance, drama, meditation, trauma therapies, rituals, and ceremonies of all kinds. Only when we give rage an external expression outside our bodies can we be in relationship with it. We can then ask, what information does my rage carry? What is it telling me? How do I want to harness this energy? So think about it. From the beginning, I've mentioned that anger is an energy like any other emotion, like joy or happiness. And so when I say that we're transmuting the energy of anger, is how can we use this energy to cause a ripple effect within us and what's around us in a positive way. And positive, again, is, once we decide the mind into polarity, positive, negative, productive, a moving, a revolutionary way. What is it within you that you want to change? I want to change within me, not being triggered by my children, not being responsive when I call on them to help. I want to be peaceful and non-reactive when it takes them 2 hours to do something I ask, whereas I was raised to move instantly. And so how can this is what I'm doing. I'm creating that space so that would allow me to understand my children are different than me. They don't have the same thing than me necessarily, right? So this is my practice. And of course, it comes with lots of other things. You could set an intention for your practice to resolve a certain situation, but in that process, some other things come in. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then she goes on to speak about Hindu deity called Kali. Kali is the deity of, I would say, death and also life. And she then goes on to talk about divine rage. Now, that's an expression I would have never put those terms together, because society teaches us that rage, anger is unacceptable, especially for women. We cannot be angry. We cannot lose our cool. Luckily for me, I was brought up in Russia, so words are powerful, and we kind of, I didn't grow up to use words as weapons, but I was bullied a lot as a child, and at about age of 13, that became my defense mechanism. So I would use the words that bite, that hurt. But she talks here that there is an ability to be in that divine rage. And you could see it in the acts of, social activism is divine rage, is when you use that energy of anger, when you feel injustices in the world, and you move, you transform, you change, you push for changes in the world. And of course, the change starts with you, your own acceptance, your own forgiveness, your own, not elimination, but dissolution of guilt and shame about feeling that rage. And then you could ask for wisdom from that rage or anger or frustrations. And then you go. The aim of divine rage is not vengeance, but to reorder the world. It is precise and purposeful, like the focused fury projected into the world from the forehead of the goddess, that she's speaking of, Durga, that created Kali. So it is only through accessing Kali's, the goddess of destruction and death, ferocity, that divine rage can take form in the world. Perhaps our task as human beings is to find safe containers for our raw, reactionary rage, and then choose to harness that energy in a way that creates a new world for all of us. So that is the passage I wanted to share with you. Again, highly recommend this book. It's a page turner. I have not been able to put it down myself, and I'm totally absorbed in it. Okay, we are going for Fists of Anger, 3 minutes. I'm still kind of bleeding, interestingly. You know the drill. Those of you who've been following daily know what to do. Our mudra is here. Thumbs are pressing on the mount of the Mercury. Other fingers are squeezing the thumb around. Backward stroke. And with the breath of fire through the O-shaped mouth. Women on moon cycle or past first trimester, long deep breath instead. Let's begin with the breath and add the arms. Gazes at the brow point. Reach your arms overhead, pull the root lock, stretch the spine. Cannon breath out. 2 more times. Inhale deeply. Squeeze everything tightly. Make your body tight like steel. Bring your hands onto your lap or onto your knees in Gyan Mudra. And just stay in this space for a moment. Tune in to your body. Listen to what it's transmitting to you. Let's take a few deep breaths together. Inhale deeply through the nose. A sigh or full exhale. Again. And when you're ready, you may gently open your eyes. Okay, for our meditation today, again, we'll not be using metronome. We'll not be using a metronome, so I will guide you to the seconds count. Maybe I could do it now so you could listen to the beat of it and get that rhythm imprinted in your mind. Again, we place our hands at the chest level and the heart. Fingers are all together. Eyes are 9/10 closed, so the eyelids are down. Or you could close them fully and focus at the brow point. And we inhale for 5 seconds, slowly, so you don't get filled up right away. And then exhale slowly. And then relaxing the diaphragm, relaxing the muscles of the abdomen, and just holding the breath out. At this point, I will urge you and encourage you to extend the suspension so that you really come face to face with your own challenges, with your own stuff that tends to come up. Okay, so hopefully the rhythm in the mind has established. And let us take a deep inhale first. And full exhale. And let's begin. Inhaling. Exhaling. Suspending the breath. Inhaling for 5 seconds. Exhaling for 5 seconds. And relaxing the body, suspending the breath, and witnessing what's happening within. Witnessing the thoughts, witnessing all the tingles, all the sensations in the body without mental activity. Make this your last cycle. And inhale deeply. Suspend the breath, engage the root lock. Exhale. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Again, inhale. Shake, 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 shake. Stay in this meditative space just for a moment. Let's inhale deeply and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Let's bring our hands together in Prana Mudra in front of the heart center to seal our practice with one long sat nam. Let's first inhale and exhale. Inhale. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will be seeing you tomorrow, Thursday. Same time, same place, 9:45. Sat Nam.